Yo, what up? This is Shortkut, Invisible Skratch Piklz, Beat Junkie Sound, Triple Threat DJs, straight out of San Francisco, California. You're listening to the Bali Praia podcast.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to another Bali Praia podcast. I'm your host, DJ Mikey Moran, at DJ Mikey Moran, always bringing you behind the scenes and behind the music. And man, we've had some bumping stuff over here, guys. Last episode, we had Silento, the man from the man who brought you the famous Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. He told us how he grew into fame at such a young age, and then the idea behind the song, the video, and what he's up to in Bali and also beyond. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we have another legend in our studios. Back in the day, there was a crew from the Bay Area, shout out to everyone in the Bay Area, called the Invisible Skratch Piklz. There's so much to say about these guys. They were formed in 1989 with Q-Bert, Mixmaster Mike, and DJ Apollo. And later on, along with A-Track, with this member and A-Track and many others. These guys were so good that the DMC Championships requested that they stop competing. I've been watching videos of this legend doing his cuts and scratches. 1997 Battle with the X-Men. Their reunion performance in 2015 with the 13th Floor. And then more recently in Boiler Room in 2018. And there's simply no words on the craftsmanship that they pose. And as the website says, they're pushing the art of turntablism into brave new dimensions. He was also in other illustrious DJ collectives such as the Beat Junkies and Triple Threat. He's an icon in West Coast hip hop and all over the turntablism world. Please welcome the legendary DJ Shortkut.
What up, everybody?
What up, man? Welcome to Bali Praia.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, first of all, and jamming with us and doing this interview. So, I take it this is not your first time in Bali?
No, this is actually my fifth time.
Okay, and how's it been so far? What have you seen? I mean, when was the first time you were here?
It was Ginger.
So what year was that? That was
was
probably like 3-4 years ago, maybe?
About before that.
Oh, man.
2014, 15.
Okay, cool.
Oh, man, I've been there a couple times now. It's kind of a blur, you know?
Yeah. But man, it's cool. And then you're gonna be DJing at Water Bomb. You went to Water Bomb today, and you've been there before, right?
Yeah, I was just there just to check out the park like about 2 years ago. But this is my first time actually playing there.
Yeah, man. Some sick ass slides there, bro.
Oh man, I'm a water park freak. So I love going to water parks. And
it's a shout out to Cyan and Water Bomb.
Yeah. What's up,
for
Cyan?
bringing Shortkut down, and also they're one of the best water parks in the world, man. So
Absolutely.
I mean, you become a little kid when you get there. You know what I mean?
Man, that's why I like water parks so much. Ever since I was a kid, I love going to water parks.
Yeah. No, and that place just locks you in, man. It's beautiful. There's a lot of really cool slides, and they just really just made it just so amazing. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And now that they're gonna have a party,
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago I told Cyan, I was like, "Yo, man, you ever consider having like a outdoor party?" And now it's manifesting itself. Like I'm here for DJ there, you know. So.
And he's doing it right. You know, he's got you're playing with Vadim tomorrow. We've had Scratch Bastard there. We are gonna have Nicodemus. There's Jay Boogie. So many amazing DJs over there, man.
Baboon.
So I want to go back to the beginning of it all. Shortkut. How did you get that name? Did you come up with that yourself? Tell me the story.
I started when I was 12, and the first thing I had to do, that got me into DJing was coming from the b-boy scene, was just hearing scratching in hip hop. And
What year was it?
this is '87. And my boy Larry who taught me, he to reach the turntables, I had to stand on a milk crate. So he gave me that name, Short. And, I was short, but then
And you were cutting. Sweet. And any major influences when you started DJing, or even now?
I mean, back then, just whatever I heard on records. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what the right way or wrong way was. I just whatever I heard on records, I just try to mimic it. You know what I mean? Probably my earliest influences was definitely Jazzy Jeff. If you hear live at Union Square on he's the DJ on the rapper album. He does a live set. I would hear that over and over and over again. Just try to copy what he did, just to just trying to get it down.
We had Cash Money here in the podcast earlier before, and it's really crazy because now everyone has YouTube, so you can watch and back in the day you'd have to just like wait, how did they come up with that sound?
We had none of that. You know what I mean? Like even Cash, just hearing all those cuts on other people be quiet, like I would just try to copy that, and I had no idea how we did it. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely the earlier pioneers for me. My biggest influences when I was growing up was definitely Cash Money, as a Jeff, DJ Scratch, DJ Miz, Joe Cooley, Aladdin, the one before 1990.
Wow.
Just hearing what they did on records, and that was our only way. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have even VHSs of the battles yet. I mean, that wasn't until the 90s.
Yeah.
So just whatever we saw in music videos, whatever we saw on Yo MTV Raps back in the day, that was our influence. So,
wow, man. I mean, okay, so that's basically like your way of like coming up with these scratches is just like you're listening to these tapes, maybe going out to the parties. Like I want to know what the scene was like back in the day, because I talked to Cash as well. He was telling me about these block parties that were happening on like Saturday and Sunday. I mean, like hip hop is not as mainstream as it was. Back in the day, it's not as mainstream as it is today. So tell me about the scene. Like, what was it like? I imagine it was pretty underground and raw. And what was it like even in the Bay?
Well, in the Bay, it's a little different. So I come from the mobile DJ scene, the mobile sound system scene, and that it was predominantly Filipino, actually. So being Filipino, I used to, most of my, older friends, cousins were part of those crews, and there would be a lot of house parties that would, in the garage, they'd set up like a whole little mini rock concert with lights and, speakers and stuff, and that just kind of mesmerized me. I was just intrigued by how like these kids who were kind of like my age or my peers were doing this, you know what I mean? And before I became professional with it, I was doing mobiles from 87 to 95. Yeah, and that pretty much taught me how to DJ for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, when you're doing when you're a mobile sound system, you have to learn how to play for different kind of scenarios, birthdays, weddings. You know what I mean? I did all that stuff like from 12 to onwards.
I want to talk a little bit about that, because then it makes you so. You have to adapt to all the crowds, and like over here now, I mean, we're sorry to say, no offense to DJs out there, everything is like sounding the same. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think that's why I'm so thankful I grew up in the era I did, because I learned how to play different genres of music.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a DJ should do. You should be able to play in whatever scenario you're put in front of. You know what I mean? Like, I think. And also, I think if I was just playing one genre, I'd be bored as hell. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no disrespect to the DJs now. I don't blame them at all. But just, if I had any advice for young DJs, I'd tell them like, yo, definitely look to the past. Don't be afraid of, it's like, back then it was breaking new music. Everyone wanted to break new songs. This is a new song. Play this, I'm a DJ. I'm gonna break new songs. Now, if you're a new DJ, no one's trying to break classics to the new generation.
Right.
I think that's such a big part of DJing. You know what I mean?
It's so funny. I mean, I don't know if it was an interview I heard with you, but just the sentence being like, back in the day, it was coming up with the newest shit, and now it's like, no, we gotta like educate from the past to the new generation.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, dude, but sooner or later, kids in new generation won't even know who Michael Jackson is, or the Beatles, or something like that.
I mean, it's sad. I mean, to hear, to not hear Prince or Michael, or what I mean, like, God, like Stevie even. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's, as an elder selector and DJ, I think it's almost my duty to play and preserve classics to the young generation who might not know about it. I mean, of these songs are actually taking away from, not taking away, but like sampling classic
dude.
music that the young have
100%,
no idea.
man.
You know what I mean? So I think that's
And
a big thing to do. You know, for me when I play, that's why when certain songs that are out now, if they have an original, you know, if they take something from an original song, I'll try to play the original song first,
100%,
and then play
man.
the song that
That's
they know.
it kind of reminds me of when I saw Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, for
there's,
sure.
you know, that new episode, like dang, it's actually a sample from a previous song, and people are like, oh snap, it's that. And then he drops the new stuff. You know what I mean?
That's I think that should be a blueprint for most DJs, because you know, in my opinion, if everyone's playing the same stuff, what separates you from the other DJ? You know what I mean? What are you putting? What's your spin on your set that's gonna make me want to book you than from the other 5 guys who play the same thing that you did
Yeah,
the
man.
same
I
night?
mean, for me, the artistry of DJing is, you know, that whole flow, the selection of songs and everything. Because if not, you're just like another iPod. You're just another DJ. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's just important to keep, you know. I mean, you know, not to be sound like a dinosaur, but just to keep tradition alive. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
for
you know,
sure, man.
I mean, you know, like, you know, so many legends are just fading away, or you know, I mean, unfortunately passing away too. You know what I mean? Like Stevie, can we bubble wrap him?
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? Like this, you know, legends are just kind of just being taken for granted now. But, you know, like I said, it's not the new generation's fault, but I think being like I said, like being a elder selector and DJ, we have to show the new DJs about these legends. You know?
Yeah. I read an article about you with 45s. That's like your jam, like your comfort zone. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. So the thing with 45s is I've been collecting 45s since I was a kid. We're now in a digital age where everything's just digital. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even in like, you know, with the set that I do here, I play with the new, you know, technology. And I you know, and I embrace new technology. I think that's why 45s for me is like that kind of that comfort zone, or man, it just takes me back. You know,
It's just like,
just
you
to
know,
be able to say, you know, I miss looking through records,
right.
flipping it up, the record out, putting it out, actually putting it on the turntable.
It's just that it's just like originality, like the feeling of
I
the
mean,
old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, I think it's not. I think it's just not even a thing about old school. It's more just the foundation of like, you know, I want the margin of error. I want the probability of you, you know, effing up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's important for any DJ, because like now we got controllers and you could just bam, and then you could just sync the other whatever's playing on the other turntable. You could, or sorry, the other side of the laptop. You could just kind of sync it, and there's no, like, you can't mess up, and that to me that just makes you know, I don't. Someone just told me the other day that a new DJ was kind of comparing it to like, man, this is like driving stick shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, actually, that's a very great analogy. It's so true, man.
It is,
Everything's like a little bit on autopilot.
Right.
People are just pressing buttons. It's I don't know, man. It's just
Well, for me, I mean, like I said, I've come from the DJ era where, like, you know, if you're a DJ and you know, if I come to a set and see it, even like turntables in the amble case, and you know, what I mean, it looks like some rock star shit. You know what I mean, like, it just looks dope, like, you know.
Yeah.
When I see a DJ, I want to see a performance.
Yeah.
Not just someone just grabs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me though.
And well, there's a great follow-up question to that, because I know you do some master classes and you teach about DJing and all that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So are you I want to get a grasp of like what people expect, or what people can expect when they go to one of your classes. Are you also going into the history of everything and all that, right?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, with every master class that I do, I always try to go back and, you know, touch on stuff that maybe some of the new DJs missed. You know what I mean? Or some of the stuff that they won't search for on YouTube on their own. You know what I mean? And I definitely come packed, you know, armed with a bunch of, you know, just monumental videos that they should watch and they shouldn't miss. That they can look at the techniques back then of certain DJs that maybe some DJs that they didn't know that where it came from. You know what I mean?
Right.
And on top of that, just showing just showing basics, and basics to me are something totally new to some DJs, which just surprises me sometimes.
Right.
That's why I think it's it's important to do master classes at the stage of I'm in my career, And it's just we have a school in Bean Junkies Institute of Sound if you're in Los Angeles.
Check it out.
We are located in Glendale, California, and we pride on teaching new DJs the foundation on turntables. You're not gonna learn, and I always believe that if you learn on turntables first, if you want to go to like CDJs or controller, you'll be even better than.
This is with DJ Babu and all
Yes.
that, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Go check it out. It's all over YouTube. It's an amazing, a lot of video coverage, and I found it so interesting that there are no CDJs. It's all turntables, it's all mixers, and they kind of teach you the real foundation, if
Yeah.
I may say, about DJing.
Absolutely. I mean, it only sharpens your skills, and if you decide to move, which I'm not going to be a big advocate of it, but I'd rather not if you were, if you have to move to CDJs or a controller, but just it's better on turntable. It looks better. It's on some real DJ shit. That's the way I see it.
As a guy that I would say learned from CDJs, and then now I've been messing around with turntables. You guys gotta try it. All those DJs that are out there, you gotta feel the original. You gotta feel,
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately, I know there's some certain countries that just don't have access to turntables as much. But at the same time, it's like that shouldn't stop you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think people get scared because they're looking at that and they're like, yeah, that looks complicated. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me? You know how many buttons are on a CDJ?
Yeah.
I don't know half of the shit that's on that thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to say, like, so this flashing button on round button is what does that do? Is that mean it's on or it's not on? Like to me, it's just you just need a start button. If the thing's spinning,
It's so funny because
It's
I think it happens the opposite way as well. For people who have been used to turntables,
Oh,
they look
yeah.
at CDJs and they're like,
yeah.
"What am I supposed to do with this?"
And God forbid, new DJs please don't set up your controller on top of turntables.
Oh yeah.
That's blasphemy. Seriously, that's nah, man, don't do that.
So follow up to this. Okay, so what do you think about the competitions right now, like Red Bull Freestyle and DMC? How does it compare from back in the day till now? I mean, because it keeps on evolving. Techniques are evolving. Technology is evolving. Can you still perform the tricks from back in the day with the current competition and still, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's good that there's a variety of battles that are out. I think it's good that the DMC is still doing her thing after all these years. And if you're a turntablist, it's dope that there's still an outlet for you for the hardcore to do the hardcore shit. That's dope. But I think it's a blessing also that freestyle is out, the Red Bull Freestyle, because I think it brought DJing back to the masses for them to understand. And for the most part, I mean, most of the finalists who are in freestyle still keep it on turntables.
Yeah.
And that's important to see. I mean, this EDM age that we're in, where everyone's on CDJs or a controller, I mean, it's good to see that there's a competition that is really, promoted really well to the masses. And if you go to those championships, the Red Bull freestyle, you can actually understand what's going on. It's based on 15 minutes of mixing mixing and actually mixing different genres in it. So let's say if you're not necessarily a hip hop guy or knowing about hip hop, you'll hear hip hop, house, and reggae in the same set, and that's dope. It teaches people, it brings selection back to the forefront, and I think that's a good thing. But also, it's good that DMC still is hardcore, and for the hardcore heads want to just hear scratching, beat juggling, and all that. There's still something for that too. So.
okay, cool. And then, have you been to Red Bull Freestyle recently?
Oh yeah, I judged one of the world championships.
You know DJ Bite by any chance?
Oh yeah, it's the
Oh,
homie.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
We had him here recently.
Yeah,
as well,
I saw
man.
his picture downstairs.
Shout out to DJ Bite. What
big
up?
DJ Bite, Chile. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah,
really amazing guy, man.
Oh,
really
he's-
amazing.
I mean, I think that's what's dope too about the freestyle for the champions. They tour all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they're all from different countries, and it's just it's kind of a brotherhood that just ends up building by the year.
I've never attended, but I spoke to Byte. I spoke to one of my friends, Stan. I'm gonna try to go to the next one because, man, it must be just so cool to just network with so many DJs, and they all got love for each other. They're all in this like kind of like almost like a support group. You know what I mean?
It's, everyone. I mean, that's what I think with DJing in general, even with the DMC and freestyle, it's good that DJing is such a brotherhood or just a fraternity of DJs. Even with female DJs, everyone wants to learn off someone. Everyone, like, if someone's doing a set, everyone's gonna crowd around that DJ and watch the set and just kind of grasp something from that, and they'll take that knowledge and go back home. And
that's the way it's supposed to be, man.
Yeah.
None of this like I'm better than you competitiveness. It's just like we're all part of the same game.
The b-boy part of it is still there. It's like there's still like I'm a little braggadocious, and that's always good. Competition is always good, but at the same time, it's not on some rapper shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We're not like taking it to the extreme where like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really genuinely learning off each other, and I think that's a dope thing. You know what I mean?
So, speaking of, you're judging all these places. You've traveled around the world, Moscow, Japan. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even the Great Wall of China, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
Can you share a bit of your favorite places to play? Maybe favorite gigs, places you haven't played yet, and you want to play?
Favorite off the top of my head, definitely Bali's.
Woohoo! Represent.
I haven't had a one bad gig out here, and every time I play, it's just love, and I'm just thankful to be out here again, and just being asked to come back again.
So, do you feel with the style which Shortkut represent, you can play here and it's well received by people in Bali here?
Yeah, definitely. The thing that I'm thankful for that I was able to learn from back then was to be able to adapt to different situations. When I played at Ginger back in the days, it was definitely more of a commercial crowd, so I had to play all the new stuff, whatever. But then there was what I played out here. It was like an outdoor thing, but I played more like just deeper stuff. You know what I mean, like house and reggae. More deeper reggae and or Latin stuff that I normally can never play at a commercial club. So, but it's to be able to turn myself on and off, just adapting to the setting that I'm in.
Well, to give you a little pointer, that's what tomorrow's gonna be.
Oh, that's
like it's just like you can play whatever you want,
absolutely.
and people are gonna jam, dude.
Yeah, the
it's
homies,
an amazing. Shout out again to Waterbomb because Soul Sessions is one of my favorite parties here on the island, and you're gonna have so much fun, man.
I can't wait. I've heard so many stories. I've seen the homie J Boogie Day. They all played that Babu. You know what I mean? Just to see that they were able to kind of just spread their wings and kind of go against the grain and not have them play just regular tunes.
Yeah.
But definitely Bali is definitely one of my favorite places to play in the world. Second is probably Moscow.
Wow.
Moscow, just because they haven't had they weren't just in the 90s. That's when everything started just growing, right? Because of the fall of the Soviet Union, and man, they really embraced music. Just heard it for the first time, especially old school boom bap hip hop. They really embraced that. They really appreciate it, and I've been going out there since early 2000s, so I'm just thankful.
The next Red Bull Freestyle, I heard it in Moscow.
Right. Yeah. I'm going out for that for sure. I need to check that out. So yeah, but I've never able to make it. Moscow is the place to be.
And then any places you haven't played at?
I haven't been in Africa yet.
Oh wow.
I passed up. Have you?
My wife is South African.
Oh really? Okay, cool.
And yeah, we could get you a gig over there, bro.
I passed up Cape Town at least 5 times just because I've been on tour.
Yeah.
And the dates never synced up, so I definitely want to go out there. I've never been to Cuba. But
yeah.
Like I said, I love going to different. I love going to different countries that I've never been to, just for the besides just not being able to see it for the first time, but for the challenge to see how it is to play for that crowd. You know what I mean? Like, will my set work here? Do I have to adapt myself? I have to change it up? You know what I mean?
That's dude. Even that you just related to something that I totally. You said something that I could totally relate because I still have this nervousness when I DJ in a new place that I've not DJ'd at before. It's just like, snap, are people gonna like my music? Are
Oh,
people
right.
gonna like my style? And that's the journey of a DJ that everyone has to go through. And it's kind of like the challenge yourself. It's just like, man, I want to rock this crowd. You know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean?
definitely. I mean, that's why my rule is to always come at least an hour before I DJ, just
Yeah,
to kind of see what the
100%.
DJ
100%.
see what the DJ plays.
And it's
see
also a matter of respect as well. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, for
It's
sure
just like,
that too. Yeah, I'm not trying to be that dude who just
Rocks out.
I'm here now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, nah, it's like I said, it's always definitely meeting the local DJs and breaking bread with them and seeing how they, 'cause, we all as DJs, we all have the same struggle of trying to please the crowd. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Rock the crowd and see, oh, that's how you guys do it. Okay, then I'm learning from them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm following their lead.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I want to go back to local and your roots because there was this Manila gig that I was reading about. It must be so, like heartwarming because one, you played with one of your idols, Jazzy Jeff, and then there was Heavy Boogie as well, and you were raising funds for a typhoon that happened over there.
Oh yeah.
And well, first of all, like it must be just so amazing to be DJing in the Philippines. But then on top of which, there's Jazzy Jeff as well. Tell me what it's like playing back at home.
I've been DJing in the Philippines since '98, and that's like change from '98 to now is just dramatic. You know what I
Insane,
mean?
yeah.
It's crazy, and then to be able to play out there. Me and Jazzy Jeff did a gig out there, at least five years back, and we did a 2x4 set. I mean, I played right before him for an hour. He played an hour, and then we ended up playing for 3 hours side by side, like on 4 turntables for 3 hours after that. And like the whole, this is like till 6 in the morning. The only people who were left there were a bunch of house dancers. So we just played deep house, soulful house for 3 hours, and it was dope. I mean, Jeff is one of my favorite sparring partners when it comes to DJing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I play something, he'll hear that, yo, keep that going, and he'll figure out what to play right. How to mix out of what I play, and it's just that chemistry is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we can't be doing this podcast without talking about Invisible Skratch Piklz because that's your crew right there. And you were saying about it's so cool to vibe with other people. I mean, this is your crew, man. You know what I mean? You guys were on a league of your own. You guys were battling literally everyone and showcasing master classes. I mean, tell me about those early days. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I was still a young kid watching them. I mean, the three kings to me was Hubert, Mixmaster Mike, and DJ Apollo. And seeing them, I mean, growing up in the Bay, I would see them do gigs, and they were the first ones to do the DJ band thing. And to see them do that was just mesmerizing.
Just like they're not from Earth.
Oh man, but when, the way I got with them was I was entering all of the local DJ battles, and they would be judging it.
Yeah.
So that's when and at the time I lived like about 5 minutes away from Hubert, and he would put me under his wing basically. Like he'd have gigs and he'd have me open for him, and we just practiced a lot. And one day he was like, "Yo, let's make up a crew." And oh wow. I mean, at the time I was already with the Beat Junkies. I was with the Beat Junkies first before the Scratch Piklz.
Right.
But for Q to put me down and have Apollo and Mixmaster Mike co-sign me, it was just like it's crazy, it's a dream come true. You know what I mean? Like to be part of the crew with your heroes is. I'm still fans of them to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, of course. I mean, they're legendary in my books and pretty much everybody's books.
Definitely.
But then you guys disappeared, came back in 2015. You did a Boiler Room set in 2018. Tell me what was going through you personally when the group was performing back together. I mean, that must have been just super awesome.
we broke up in 2000. The Piklz established ourselves in '95. We broke up in 2000 because we felt like we all wanted to grow separately as far as everything. I mean, we weren't even seeing Mike that much because he was already DJing for the Beastie Boys at the time.
Right.
So we just thought it was a good time to just kind of split up and do our own thing. For me, it was a great time because I actually got to find myself as a DJ.
Right.
Because for the longest time, I mean, I'm a DJ at heart. but I came up in the turntablist scene. So I just realized over time that turntablism is more my spice of what I do, but my basis is being a selector DJ. So after doing that for about 15 years, or 14 years, 2014 we decided like, yo, what about, we never made an album, huh? Yeah, we should make one. So the homie Kenny from Red Bull, who actually runs the Red Bull Freestyle, proposed to us that, yo, why don't you record an album at the Red Bull Studios? And so we did. We went in 2015. We went to Tokyo.
The 13th floor.
This is the 13th floor album, and we recorded the album in 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we had a little bit of material, but everything kind of was coming up. We kind of solidly made it in 5 days, and 4 days to make whatever we needed to. We started early in the morning till midnight. The last day just mastered it, and it was crazy to be able to do all that. And
well done, man. And we could check it out on iTunes, I believe, right?
It's available on iTunes and all that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or if you want to take a peek on YouTube.
Okay, well, we're coming up to the end of it. I just wanted to ask. I know you've been DJing for over 30 years, I believe. I feel like you've done quite the rounds. But I just wanted to ask. So after this, what can we expect from Shortkut in the coming years? Are you working on some cool projects?
I've never really come out with an album of my own production, so I'm still working on that right now. I've always been shy about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so in awe of so many producers. Like, how the hell can I, be on that level that these guys are? But it took me a while to be more confident with what I'm making. So and at the time too, like, I was so into so many genres that as a hip hopper, it was kind of almost frowned upon if you made house or reggae or something else that wasn't out of hip hop. But now as a DJ, it's just embraced now that if you can make different music. Yeah, so now that's why I think now is a good time for me to kind of do that now. So definitely I hope in the near future a solo album for myself. Awesome. With collaborations with a lot of artists a lot of artists that I look up to, and on top of that, I'm making a lot of 7 inches for the portablist scene. Portable turntablist, kind of make stuff like that.
Awesome, man. We're very, very excited about that. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Oh, yes, it is. Hopefully you guys pick it up.
And then, since we are a place of inspiration, what's your best Shortkut advice for people who want to start DJing or people who have started DJing and they want to make it in the game?
Something like I said a little earlier, like, don't be afraid to look at if you're a young DJ, don't be afraid to look at the past, because there's a lot of stuff that you might have missed back then. You know what I mean? Like, right now you have YouTube at your fingertips, and to be able to look it up, watch old DMCs for inspiration. I mean, watch. There's also a battle that ended in '94 that was legendary. That a lot of us, like Jazzy Jeff, Scratch, Cash Money came from. It's called a New Music Seminar. I have a chance to look all those up, because that was a head-to-head battle. That's something that we really don't get to celebrate as much. I mean, DMC has it, but it's not at the forefront, or to bring that kind of element back. Just keep an open mind. You know what I mean? Like, keep you might be into one genre, but there's so much good music out that is coming out now, and there's so much classics that are out from the past. And I think it's important as a DJ to be able to have that musical palette with everything, not just one thing. Because I think your shelf life will be really short if you just kind of into this new stuff and that's it, and that's all you do. You know what I mean? I think like I said, I'm living proof that. A lot of my DJ peers that who spin a lot of different genres, we're still here because we love celebrating music from the past and now.
That's the love of music and love of DJing right there, man.
Absolutely.
Well, that's so awesome. Well, thank you again for being here. It's truly an honor. Any shout outs you want to make before we go?
I'll pick up all my crew. Triple Threat DJs, DJ Apollo, Vinrock, the whole Beat Junkie sound. Invisible Skratch Piklz, thank you for supporting us for all this time. Pick up my lady DJ Lock. We're trying to make it happen, man. Like, I think this thing about DJing is that keeps us going. We're forever students of this, and I think you'll never stop learning. You'll never have the perfect.
The possibilities is endless.
Endless.
Man.
You'll never have the perfect music collection.
Correct.
If just because you think you might think you know it all, you don't. So just have an open mind.
Well, thank you for that, man. My man DJ Shortkut, thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone to tuning in. Follow DJ Shortkut, Bali Praia, and myself, DJ Mikey Moran. We're going to be releasing a special mixtape Monday along with this podcast where you're going to see Shortkut showcasing his techniques. And if you're around the island, you can catch him at Waterbomb at Soul Sessions with DJ Vadim. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and that like button. We'll be signing out. Catch you in the next podcast. Peace.
Big up.